So, are you looking for a series to watch over a week? A thriller series? I have a wonderful recommendation for you. Killing Eve, available on Netflix. Some shows entertain you and some shows obsess you. And then there's Killing Eve, a series that somehow made murder feel stylish, romance feel dangerous, and obsession felt weirdly intimate. And honestly, very few shows have managed to create chemistry as electric, chaotic, and unforgettable as Eve Polastri and Vinale. Today, we are driving season by season into why Killing Eve became one of the most addictive psychological thrillers ever made, and whether every season actually lived up to the hype. And trust me, this show is a wild ride. Before we begin, if you love thriller series, psychological drama, dark comedies, and binge worthy Netflix and Prime recommendations, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications because we talk about the best addictive series you should absolutely be watching. Season 1 of Killing Eve is honestly close to perfect television. Right from the first episode, the show feels different, stylish, sharp, funny, disturbing. You are introduced to Eve Polastri, played brilliantly by Sandra Oh. Eve isn't the typical glamorous spy character. She's awkward and sometimes messy, emotionally impulsive, but she's incredibly intelligent and deeply fascinated by female assassins. And that fascination slowly turns into obsession. Then enters Vinale, played by Jodie Comer in one of the most iconic performances in modern television. Vinale is terrifying and playful at the same time. One second she's brutally killing someone, and next she's shopping for luxury clothes or making jokes like a child. And somehow the show makes her magnetic instead of just pure evil. That's what made season 1 so addictive. The cat and mouse dynamic between Eve and Vinelle wasn't just suspenseful, it felt emotionally charged, almost romantic, and impossible to define. Now, over to season 2. Season 2 explores what happens after obsession crosses a line. The chemistry between Eve and Vinale becomes even more intense in this season. But now there's emotional manipulation involved, and trust becomes impossible. Vinale herself starts becoming more emotionally vulnerable, if that's possible, in some strange ways. This season gives you a more humane version of her. You begin to realize that beneath all the violence and confidence, there's loneliness. And honestly, Judy Comer completely dominates this season. Her ability to switch emotions within seconds is unbelievable. One moment funny, one moment heartbreaking, one moment terrifying. Season 2 becomes more psychologically intense. Eve herself changes significantly this season. She becomes darker, more reckless, and that transformation is absolutely fascinating to watch. Then comes season 3, and this season feels very different. Not necessarily bad, just more reflective. That is typically what happens when a series stretches onto the third season. Seasons 3 slowly slows things down emotionally and focuses more on identity, trauma, and loneliness. Vinelle begins questioning herself for the first time, not just who she is as an assassin, but whether she's capable of being anything else. And surprisingly, this season gives Vinelle some of her most emotional scene in the entire series. You actually see vulnerability underneath all the chaos. Meanwhile, Eve feels emotionally exhausted. The obsession that once excited her now feels destructive, and that emotional distance between the character creates a strange sadness throughout the season. Visually and stylistically, the season 3 is the most beautiful season. The music is amazing, the dialogues are witty, and the performances continue to be excellent. Personally, I think season 3 works best when you see it as a character study instead of a thriller. Because emotionally, it is about two people trying and failing to escape themselves. And then you have season 4, probably the most divisive season of the show. Season 4 had massive expectations. Fans wanted closure, resolution, and emotional payoff after years of build up. And honestly, this season feels messy at times. The tone becomes inconsistent. Some storylines feel rushed, some new characters don't fully connect emotionally, but honestly, despite all its flaws, season 4 still has moments that remind you why the series became so beloved in the first place. Sandra Oh and Judy Connor remain phenomenal. Even during weaker moments, you are still emotionally invested in Eve and Vinell. Not the spy missions, not the assassinations, not the mystery organizations, them. Two women destroying each other emotionally while being unable to stay away from each other. Very few TV relationships have ever felt this unique. Some people I think would hate it and some would defend it. I am on the side of the defenders. But regardless of where you stand, it's impossible to deny the impact of this series had. Killing Eve changed the psychological thriller genre. It gave us one of television's greatest anti heroes. And even when later seasons become uneven, the characters still pull you back. Because once Killing Eve gets into your head, it stays there. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, comment your favorite season, and subscribe for more thriller series reviews, Netflix and Prime recommendation, and binge-worthy hidden gems. Bye bye.